All right, ABC 10's Sean Cunningham. Thrilled to be joined now by Sacramento's Cameron Champ, who's got a big opportunity tomorrow when he gets to tee off at Augusta National in the Masters for the very first time. He tees off the first tee at 12:11 with Zach Johnson and Justin Rose. And Cameron, I know Augusta National means it has a huge, huge meaning to your family, to any golfer that experiences the Masters for the first time. What's it mean just to step foot on those hallowed grounds for the very first time?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely amazing. It's obviously something that I've dreamed of since I was a kid. I've watched it every year, even last year. I mean, every single year. For that Augusta week, Thursday through Saturday or Thursday through Sunday, I pretty much sat on the couch every single day and watched it. So to actually be a part of the tournament for my first time and actually be on the other side of the screen, like I said, it's definitely a dream come true, and it has lived up to everything I could ever imagine and more.
Anybody who's kind of followed along your story locally in the Sacramento area, certainly if they've watched our station, they know that this moment means a lot to your family as well. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, in meeting with your grandfather, knowing that it's a dream for him and you carrying it out, I'm wondering if you can kind of shed light a little bit on that, and also the pact that you guys as a family made with the day you first saw Augusta National and said, we're not coming here until Cameron, qualifies.
Yeah, Pops, this is a place he's always wanted to see. It's again, he's watched it for years, and obviously, again, back in the days, they weren't allowed on the grounds unless you're really a caddy. So, um, it's again me kind of living his dream, living, something that he's always wanted to do. So for me, like I said, it definitely means a lot more than just golf. Um, and then what was the second part of the question?
Just about him and how just the family, how you had actually seen Augusta National at one point but didn't really, you made a deal as a family not to go there until you had actually qualified.
Yeah, I think as a kid that was something I wanted to earn. I wanted to earn my way here instead of, anyone can buy a ticket and come watch for the week or practice rounds, etc. So for me, it would have felt more special to be able to earn my way here versus again kind of buying your way here just as a spectator. Obviously, earning your way, you're earning your way as a player and as a PGA professional. So for me, that just felt it would be a little more special in that aspect. And obviously, if you're playing in the Masters, you're doing something well. Obviously, throughout the year on tour. So for me, again, that was a goal I was able to check off. And obviously, again, this is my first Masters.
Yeah, and to be able to do that, I mean, you knew you were going to be here all year long, and then it kind of gets pushed off to 2020. Was it kind of like
Mm-hmm.
one of those things, like a Christmas present or a Christmas day? You're just kind of looking forward to it, and it kind of builds up, or did you kind of put it out of mind and out of sight, and just like, yeah, I know I'm going to do it here eventually this year. When we get here, it gets here. Did the hype kind of build up along, or was it kind of easy?
Yeah, I mean, I think the hype was kind of the same. For me, I think as being a professional and having some small success so far, I think it wasn't as dramatic and stuff as it was as a kid. Like you said, watching it as a kid, you're just like, oh my gosh, it's just it's you know again, you're a kid, you make it a little more dramatic, but still for me, it was still amazing just driving down again Magnolia Lane for the first time, seeing everything, going through the process of registering your locker rooms, the driving range practice area, the first tee, some of the most iconic shots, you've always seen in golf, Tiger on 16, the par three where his chip was. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely say the excitement is there for sure. I think the prolonged, it kind of, for some guys, we weren't even sure if we were even going to be able to play. So I think at the same time I was excited, but also I was kind of like, well, hopefully we're even able to play. Because obviously a few months ago things were kind of up in the air whether we were even playing at all. So, but still, like I said, once I landed here in Augusta and got in the courtesy car and started driving there, the excitement started kicking.
For people who possibly haven't seen it yet, does the course look any different in autumn than it would be in the spring?
Well, definitely. I think again, this is a tough time to grow grass, but even all the players say it still looks pristine. I mean, they did the best they could with the time frame they had. So obviously the azaleas aren't growing. You don't see all the beautiful colors mixed in there, but I mean, the course is in fabulous shape again. The greens, fairways, bunkers, everything's pristine. Obviously, we've had some wet weather the last few days and again today. So, but again, I guess, it can change overnight. And just about every player I've talked to have said that, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you come Thursday, it's a completely different place. So, tomorrow we'll just have to see.
Yeah, that was my next question, actually. I mean, you had the ability to have some practice rounds down there. I believe the first one was Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. I played the backside on Sunday afternoon, late afternoon.
And as a guy who, you never like to stay on the range, it's kind of famously noted that you like to, play the course in order to prepare and get ready. I wonder how much are you picking the brain of other people that have been there before, including your caddy, your brand new caddy, John Wood, who's also from Sacramento. He's carried the bag of several people there before. I mean, how much do you rely on others to kind of, help you go through your first experience?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone, goes through their processes differently. I mean, I played with Phil on Monday, just picked his brain, and he just kind of, again, it's a place like that. It's just a lot about knowledge. Again, in my first year, you're never going to learn a percent of what those guys have learned in the last 25 years playing that place. So for me, it's just kind of picking at kind of just the smaller things, really just misses. I mean, out there, I've heard guys say it numerously times. You're really playing for the miss. Because the greens are so undulated, you can miss in certain sections where it's impossible to get it up and down, but then you can miss, 20 yards in a different direction and have it easy up and down. So, and that's kind of what I've learned so far. Again, the place is very, very precise, from the fairway to the green. The fairways are pretty generous, as, over the years, but it really comes down to the second shots, putting and chipping in short game. So, seeing the greens for the first time and actually seeing how undulated the place is, it's very mind blowing because on TV, you don't realize how hilly the place is for one. And then just how slopey the greens are. So, you just have to be creative with it. And then again, just, play passive aggressive and just trust in it. And then again, just play for the proper misses.
I know we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but playing Augusta is even a weekend hack. I mean, everyone puts that as like the end all be all, the place that they'd want to be, their bucket list. I mean, when you're competing, do you have to like put that aside? Does the coolness wear off at a certain point before you go into Thursday?
Oh, well, yeah, I think it's already gone. Like I said, I think it was just a first impression for me. I think, like I said, just to wear off the excitement again for the first time ever going there, ever being there. Like I said, just going through the process, of getting into the event. So, but I think that was done pretty quickly. I think, like I said, I came here for a reason. I've been playing extremely well. Just seeing the progression in my game and just myself too in general, has been great to see. So, I'm more than ever excited about my game this week, especially, this course fits me extremely well, as far as off the tee, and just in general, just ball striking greens. I feel very comfortable around it. So, and the course is going to be playing wet. So if it does play wet, it kind of favors me, and majority of the long ball guys. So.
That's awesome. And since the last time I talked to you, I mentioned it just a minute ago, you've added John Wood on the bag, a Sacramento guy,
Mm-hmm.
someone I used to know in my radio days a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the advantage of adding someone like him, and what's the kind of the relationship been like?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I've known Woody since I was 14 or 15, back when he caddied for Hunter, which is crazy to think about. 11 years ago when we first met him, and I was just a little kid, and he was caddying for Hunter in his prime. My dad's known him since they were little kids back in the T-ball days. So, yeah, I mean, it's been great. Like I said, it's someone I know. He has a lot of knowledge about the game. Like I said, he's caddied for a lot of greats. And he's played Augusta. God, he's been there 15 plus years. So, he knows, again, my yardage book, that I got during registration was pretty much thrown away, and he gave me, a new one with all of his notes. So, like I said, his knowledge kind of around the greens, where you want to miss, where's the best angles, how this putt breaks. Again, that's just stuff you obviously create over years. And that was something, that I learned through Phil. Masters, you have no yardage books or greens books. They don't allow them. But again, those guys have played them so many times that they know how the putt breaks. and know every single break in it. And I kind of caught that a few times, kind of heard him saying, oh yeah, this pin from this angle, it breaks a few inches. From here, it doesn't break as much. So that's just little things that, like Woody and playing with guys like Phil, that you can kind of just pick up on and just kind of take notes of.
That's awesome. I mean, and when you get out there, are you pretty much alone? Do you get to have any family with you? I know there's so many restrictions right now.
Yeah.
How's that working?
Yeah, my fiance's gonna come. She's flying down tomorrow, so we're only allowed one person, every player. So yeah, they've been pretty strict this week. And then again, if I'm correct, all the volunteers are members as well. So it's a pretty tight ship. So yeah, again, I'm just happy she's at least able to come. At least we get one person, and not just us being kind of by ourselves. So it definitely makes it more meaningful.
Yeah, that's great. And because you mentioned, I mean, we're talking about this life moment about playing in the Masters, and we talked about it before, but and you're going to get married right afterwards. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just so many things culminating in it's a weird year, but it's a wonderful year for you. I mean, just how's it going to feel just to get this week over and done with, hopefully with a, first place finish and, go in and get married?
Yeah, I mean, well, once they did the reschedule, it was either going to be this week or the Masters was going to be next week. So I remember at the time when they were figuring out where events were going to be placed and whatnot, and they're saying the Masters would be either the second or third week in November. I'm like, well, hopefully it is not the third week, because that would have been very unfortunate to miss my first Masters, because she would have not let me miss our wedding. So luckily it just worked out perfectly in the schedule. Obviously it's a lot going on, trying to plan a wedding, and the week before our wedding is kind of a lot, but we were able to try to get everything done as much as we possibly could, so that next week we can enjoy it with our families and have an amazing day.
Yeah, that's great. And will the wedding be what you guys are hoping for? Is it going to be small? Is it going to be the big glorious wedding? I mean, how's that going to work in the COVID era?
Well, right now, at least in Texas, in our county, we're really just having family. I mean, again, it's not too many. We don't have a crazy big wedding. We're really not into that, but we were at least able to get all of our family and close friends to be able to come. So, like I said, where we're getting married, it's very outskirts of Houston. It's it's kind of we call it the country. And again, I live about a mile away from actually where we're getting married now. We just moved out there, so like I said, it's gonna be good. There's no crazy restrictions where we're getting married, so that was a good thing. Again, just to be able to have all of our family and our few close friends there.
Wonderful. And then when you guys do get married, I mean, on the schedule, do you take weeks off, month off? I mean, what's that look like as the year goes forward?
I'll play my Coba and the Shark Shootout to finish the year. So I'll have the rest of December off all the way till Tournament of Champions, or TLC, this year. Um, and then again, start February. It's going to be a long West Coast swing. So yeah, I'll definitely take advantage of, what is that, after our wedding? It's Thanksgiving week. So yeah, I'll have what was that, 5 of the next 7 weeks off. So, or six of the next 4 off, or excuse me, 4 of the next 6 off.
That's great. I mean, and will you have many places that you haven't visited before? I mean, now that you're, going in this will be the third year, I believe. I mean, just, are there many places you haven't visited as a pro yet?
Yeah, there's definitely a few events I haven't played in yet. Um, but again, I'm just going to keep, building my schedule just to whatever courses I feel more comfortable with, the courses I like. I played just about, again, every event besides less than a handful. So I kind of know what I like and what favors me more. And that's kind of how you have to plan your schedule. And obviously, once you get higher in the rankings and you get into the bigger events, then that can change a lot of things as well. When you're playing in WGCs and all the majors, that changes schedules a lot, which is why you see, a lot of the big timers don't play as many regular events, because again, you're in all the WGCs, all the majors. Um, Again, with the most FedEx Cup points, smaller fields, no cuts. So, throughout the year, the schedule can change slightly, but obviously right now I'm in all the majors next year, majority of the WGCs. So it'll be a slight adjustment as far as scheduling, but should play roughly kind of the same events.
Yeah, I wonder once you go through once or twice through the the series, the whole season, it seems
Mm-hmm.
like the balance of the rest and the work, and obviously you have majors and things like that. How overwhelming can that be when you plot it out? Is it an easy process? Is it a hard process? How does that kind of work out?
It just depends. Like usually the fall or early spring, I should say. Like the West Coast swing is usually always busy. Guys will play 4 or 5 in a row, even the big timers. So because you got Pebble, LA, Torrey, the WGC in Mexico. Um, so yeah, it's just what's it? Then you got Bay Hill players. So guys will play 4 or 5 of those in a row just because they're just all back to back. That's just kind of how it rolls. So, um, but for me, max I'll play max 4 like in that West Coast swing. I'll play 4 in a row. It's just because of the way the schedule is this year. Since I'm in the WGC Mexico, then it goes Bay Hill players. So those ones you can't really miss out on. So but usually throughout the year I'll play no more than 3 max in a row, and then get rest. That's one thing I've learned is kind of getting burnt out and not playing too many in a row and just having enough time at home, just kind of balancing everything. So you know again, you look at DJ, Brooks, Rory, all those guys, they play less than 20 events, and then you count playoffs through roughly like 21, 22 events, where some guys can play 25 plus. So, and that's just less time. That's just more time grinding away at it versus, again, just relaxing, taking a deep breath, and just kind of, rebooting the system.
That's great. The one thing I've noticed what's been fun, final two for you, is you've got a few sponsors that have kind of come along the way. And this year, right before you tee off at your very first Masters, I'm seeing SAP and Beats by Dre and some stuff that you've added to your social media. How fun is it to welcome those people not only into your brand but your family as well?
Oh, it's awesome. Like you said, SAP, they're an amazing brand, amazing company. They do a lot of stuff again with diversity, education. And then obviously the main one was autism. Obviously everyone knows Ernie Els and knows SAP has been behind him pretty much his whole career. So he's been able to do a lot of things with autism with them. And obviously his son being very severe versus, my sister's, probably very moderate, but not too severe. So they're just an amazing brand. Obviously Beats by Dre, that's, again, a great brand that I use pretty much every single day that I'm wearing now. So definitely excited to join with them. And we're able to do some fun stuff with Mel Bond and his wife and Schoolboy a few weeks ago that will come out. So it's been exciting.
Are we seeing you on the mic or anything? Or any dancing going on? What's going?
No,
Any preview
no,
there?
no, not me, not me.
That's awesome.
Schoolboy can do that stuff.
For sure, for sure. And then finally, look, I know you aim for every tournament to be able to win and walk home with a trophy and a title under your belt. But because this is a very first Masters and, there's so much attention being put on it, how would you just define success for this very first tournament for you? Can success be anything short of a win for you?
For me, success is just playing in the event. I mean, for me, again, looking at it, even when I won previously, I'm getting married next week. So for me, that's a more life-changing event than even winning the Masters. So that's just kind of how I'm looking at it. That's why I think I'm just not, over stressing it, or I wasn't so super excited, or I wasn't, obviously I'm excited, but I'm just not like giggling over here like, oh my gosh, look at this, look at that. It's just being more real and being honest and, not sugarcoating things and just realizing that it's just a game. But again, I'm getting married next week, to an amazing woman who I'll be with the rest of my life. So to me, that's more important to me than winning any tournament, which again has stuff like that has kind of helped me realize a lot of things with golf in that aspect of, not putting extra pressure on yourself, whether it's your first Masters or you're in the hunt to win your first major or your first tournament or whatever it may be, and just playing and, screw it, whatever happens.
Yeah, that's a great outlook, man. I really appreciate you doing this. I know your time is
Yeah.
crazy over there. Best of luck to you. Congratulations on the wedding. I can't wait to see pictures and see how that goes for you. And please give my very best to her and as well as your family as well.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks so much,
All
Cameron. Good
right.
luck.
Thanks.